I'm going to change tabs over to classes, and I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to push my plus sign and create a class. So this will be Wonder Widgets. That's all I ever do is give it a title. I don't fill out section, subject, or number, but feel free to do whatever you need for your record keeping. Now I've created it. It takes it a minute to come up. And here is Wonder Widgets. I can either go back, which will take me back to Classroom, or this hamburger and click Classes. Wonder Widgets is now one of my classes. So that's the navigation. Now we've got Wonder Widgets, ways to get people to join. Easiest way for your students and people to join is to click on the People tab. You'll notice you have a Teachers section and a Students section. So we've got email addresses for all of our students. So what we can do is just click on the plus sign. If you want to invite a student, I click on this little people icon with a plus, start typing their email. Since they all have them, you can just start adding them in. And then when you punch invite, it's going to send them an invite. So right now you can see these guys have been invited. They get an email that says, hey, would you like to join? And you say yes. As soon as they do that, they're in. The only other way to join, I'm going to go back to the stream page, which is the first page. There's this little class code. If you have a whole bunch of students with computers or a whole bunch of people that want to join your class that are in the same room with you or that can see this, all they have to do back on the classroom page, when they log in and hit the plus sign, if they do join a class, right here is where their class code goes. And that class code is always directly on your stream page, posted right here. You punch this little button to make it bigger. You can copy it and paste it, send it in emails. Next thing up, with Stream, this is where you can put announcements. So this is just stuff that you want them to see. They can post things back to you. That's what this page is for. It's kind of like the wall or a Facebook page. You just put up comments and posts. The important one is classwork. So it's the second tab up here. This is where you create all of your assignments. And all you do is there's a huge create button. You click create and you've got a lot of options. Assignment is usually the one you use, making things that you're going to grade. Quiz assignment, sounds like what it is. You can pose a question, so you can just hit the question, type in the question, and it will allow them to respond back. It'll be much like a wall or a Facebook post. Material, so this is like resources, different things that you want them to have, but it's not necessarily an assignment. Reuse post. This doesn't really come in to play until later. If you have an old post, like you've done this for a couple years in a row, when you're upgrading, you can reuse an old post and put it back to your class again. Topic is the other big one. So if you punch a topic in, a topic is like the unit. So unit 1 is what I'll call this topic. And now I've got a topic. I'm going to create another topic and call it unit 2. So these are your headers. So like on the one we do with the instructional staff where we had resources, guess what? I created a topic and named it resources. I created a topic and called it assignments. So these are the topics. That's the big overarching things. I generally use those and I use assignments. So now I'm going to make my first assignment. Oh dang, I created my topics out of order. Grab one, drag it, and it can reorder. So you can reorder them any way you want just by clicking, holding, and dragging. I'm going to create an assignment real quick, and this is first assignment. You can put instructions here, you don't have to, and they use the two important buttons down here. So add, what this does, it allows you to pull something directly from your Google Drive. You can add a link, so if you have like a YouTube video or some other item that you want to put up, you add a link. You can add a file. This is if you're pulling something directly from your computer, or if you're pulling something off of like the L drive, or you can put in a YouTube video link. These are not limited to one thing at a time. You can put 10 or 12 different things within an assignment. Let's say you come up with an idea for an assignment, but you don't have anything prepared. That's where Create comes in. You can create a Google Doc for them to work on, a Google Slides, which is basically PowerPoint, a Google Sheets, which is Excel, drawings, which I don't use a lot, but you can do it, forms. So that's what Create It does. The nice thing about it here is when you create it directly in the assignment, it's going to post it automatically. You don't have to go back to Drive to find it. However, say you've already got something you created in your Drive, and notice I just switched over to my Drive. If I've got something in here I already want, so here's a blank quiz that's just living here. If I want to insert this quiz, I go to my classroom, I'm going to add from my Google Drive. So I'm just hovering over to Google Drive and it pops up and gives you a search box automatically. So anything that is in your Google Drive can be found. And this was untitled, but whatever you want to hunt for, you type it in.
So when you create that, I assume it's going to automatically save in your Google Drive, but where will it save in your drive?
You do add and go to Google Drive, it's going to be filed wherever you had it. If you do create, it should file it in your classroom folder. So since I don't have something made, I'm going to create a new form. It automatically pops up. Now under my classwork for Wonder Widgets, it still says untitled right now, but when I refresh, it'll come up and say it's made. Over here, you have your options to assign this. Who's it for? Which class do you want this to go to? Does it need to go to Industrial Tech and Biz and ProStart classes? So that's what this box does. The one over here, within whatever class you're in, it'll pick your students. You'll get a list of all the students that are enrolled in the class, and you can select particular ones. So that's a great way for differentiate instruction. If you want to give different assignments to different people, here's where you assign points or ungraded. Due date, pretty self-explanatory. You can make a due date. If you click this little guy, it automatically pulls up a calendar for you to pick your due date. Topic. Oh, remember those topics? This is my Unit 1 first assignment, right? So I picked my topic. Notice as you get more advanced, and for now I'm not going that far, you can put rubrics in. So you can show the kids exactly how you're going to grade the assignment you put in there, what you're looking for. I've never used originality reports. Click on learn more. We'll figure it out. One of these days I will. So that's all the options you have over here. Now you can either hit assign and it's going to give it to whatever classes you picked, to all the students you pick, or you can schedule when you want to assign this assignment. You can save it as a draft if you're not ready to assign it yet, or if you don't like this one, you can discard it. I'm just going to go ahead and assign this. It jumps right back to the Google Classroom, and notice under Unit 1, I have my first assignment. Oops, oh, that's really a Unit 2 assignment. No problem. Grab it, drag it, drop it. This is how you can move them back and forth. While you're in classwork, they have a couple other things here. Your Google Calendar. When you create this assignment, it will actually show your kids on the calendar day what comes up. And then you have a class drive folder. If you punch this button, it takes you directly to the Wonder Widgets class folder. So it's under My Drive, Classroom, Wonder Widgets. So it's the same thing as if I went to My Drive, went through my Classroom folder, and then I had to pick Wonder Widgets. So I am now in the same place here as I am right here. This is where everything you created, since I just made this is the answer to Whitney's question. Since I made it directly from the Classroom, notice it's in the Wonder Widgets Classroom folder. I'm going to go back to the Classroom. So we've done creating that way. We did people. I did not, however, tell you we can allow teachers in. You can add up here under the teachers one, and this is where you can invite me to help you with your teaching, or invite your other teachers to teach with you. So for instance, I see Carl's here. I'm going to add Carl in as a teacher and invite him right now. So in his email, he's getting an invitation to come join me as a teacher. We've made an assignment with a form. Let's look at the other options. I'm going to make another assignment. This time, I am going to make them write me a reflection. So I'm going to make a Google Doc. I don't have it made already. Already made stuffs there. I'm going to create a Google Doc, and automatically pops it up and says, what do you want this doc to be? And then I'll click over here again. It automatically names it for me. I'll click off. It's saved. And that's all I'm going to do for this one. So I want them to reflect back to me. I'm going to go ahead and close that doc, but notice it's sitting here. It will update the title later. And then you have options over here. Students can simply view this file. Students can edit the file. If you choose that one, this is where you open one document and everybody in the classroom can type on it at the same time. Or you can make a copy for each student. This is where you want everybody to turn in their individual work. And what it does, when they submit it, it puts their name first, dot, last, dot, and then puts the name of this document. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it that way. Again, I come over here, same things. I have picked my class, pick which students I want, assign points if I want to or not, can set a due date. This was Unit 2, so I'm going to make my topic Unit 2. This time I'm going to schedule this for April 10th at 10 a.m. Schedule. This will not now show up here for the students, until it's scheduled. But notice as a teacher, I can see it. Oh, drat, I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to make it for today. Well, how do we edit these lessons or assignments? The little hamburger that I've been talking about. And be careful. When you hover away, notice that hamburger goes away too. They're mean like that. I wish they just stayed. Sorry, they don't. Notice on the topics, the hamburgers stay, but on the assignments, they don't. So I'm going to hover over that and click it, and now I can either delete my assignment if I didn't want it, or I could go back in and edit. Everything comes up. I can remove the document. I can add more stuff to it. For instance, there's this great file I've got from my device this time. You can come straight from Drive, but if you've got something on the L drive, you may have to just select from device. Or you can drag things just from off the screen onto it, but I am going to select a file from my device. Here's the yearly calendar. Let's do that. And then I'm just going to click upload. Oh, look, now I've got the reflection and whatever document I wanted them to reflect about in there. And then I didn't want to schedule it anymore. Instead, I wanted to assign it right now. So that's editing assignments. And now you'll notice it's not grayed out anymore. The assignment is there. When they click on it, they'll see it and be able to run with it. That is the basic overview I wanted to do. What questions do you have that I can answer for you?
Hey, Ryan, the other day you came in and helped me and we had put all that stuff into one folder. Now I'm having trouble locating it.
Let's see what we
Go
got.
to Drive
And then under classroom will be your next one.
and then Fleet and Facilities.
Fleet and facilities. And then I think we put most of the stuff in cleaning chemicals. See that folder up here?
So why am I seeing these blank forms with student names on them?
They're ones that they turned in. They've logged in and it created the assignment for them. They haven't finished making it yet. This is what it does when you make a copy for every student. So notice, Abel's answered his. I can tell by looking right here because he wrote on it. So he's done his assignment. Anthony has looked at the thing, hasn't done it yet.